Okay, so now we are in the Richmond's library card catalog. You know how to get there. Instead of doing a book search, I'm going to show you how to search in Webpath Express. Webpath Express is a search engine you can use to locate information, kind of like Google, but it helps you locate information in a more precise way. So again, you have to log in. You will log in with your 800 number and your first 2 digits of your last name and the last 4 numbers of your 800 number. I have an A number. That's how I log in. So that's what I'm logging in as right now, but you guys know how to log in. I've showed you that before. Mine will look a little different than yours. I'll have all these extra tabs up here. You won't have this many. I'm going to go to Catalog. I want to go to Webpath Express on the sidebar. And then you'll see a search engine pull up, just kind of like Google, but a little less busy, I guess is what I want to say. And there's going to be some things that pop up that are topics in the month. Right now it's June for me, and so some topics that are coming up that are in the news. But if I'd like to search for some websites that are appropriate for me about sink and float, because that's what I'm doing in science, I type in the keywords in the search bar and I click search. And then it'll give me my results. Now, if I look here where my mouse is moving around, I have 377 results. That's a lot. And right now on this page, I have 25 of them. For each website, if I scroll down, for each website that's listed here, I'm going to scroll back up to the top, it'll give you kind of the topic that it's talking about, and then it'll give you a summary. So this one says all about sink and float. Does a penny float? How about a black or paper clip? Can you make a clay float or sink? So maybe I'm looking for, you really want to be specific about what you're looking for. So maybe I'm trying to figure out what does sink or float. So this might be a good one for me. Now, I can read the little summary here. That'll tell me a little bit about it. Over here where it says grade level, this is a website that's appropriate for kids in kindergarten through 5th grade, which is a pretty big span. So I'm going to refine that in just a minute. Now up here, this is how I can kind of refine my search. All these gray buttons. I can search it by format. So if I click on this down arrow, I can look for an animation, an audio format, a biography, an ebook, images, and videos. I'm not going to switch that right now, but maybe I was just looking for video. Source. If I click on the down arrow, it will tell me like what kind of source I can pull it from. Do I want an encyclopedia, a magazine, a map, maybe a newspaper? And primary source means a person was there at the time it was created. Related topics. If I click the down arrow, all these things about science are coming up. So maybe I find something in here that, instead of sink and float, I want to look at water's density. You really have to be thinking about what you're actually searching for. This is the one I use most often with kids, is the grade level, because you really want to be in a grade level span for you. So if you're in 3rd grade and you don't want that kindergarten through 2nd grade websites in there, click on 3 through 5, and that's what all of you will be at. Whatever grade you're in at Richmond is either grades 3, 4, or 5. I'm going to click on that. Lexile, don't worry about that. Domain, don't really need to worry about that. Language, if you speak Spanish and you want to see what kind of resources you can find in Spanish, you can switch up. But right now we're going to keep it in English. It's set at English. Now, the only thing I switched right now is just the grade level. So I'm going to refine my search. I'm going to get results and see if it narrows it down from less than 377. So I'm going to click get results. And now I only have 102, which is still kind of a lot. But it's more than half have been taken out, so that's good. You're still going to see, I do notice, it's still giving me some of those pre-K through 2, 3 through 5, but I don't have a 6 through 8. That's good. It's still going to give you a range, so it might not completely take that away, but at least it's not giving me ones that are too difficult. Now, if I scroll down here, this one about floating, this one has maybe a little bit more difficult of a reading in it, but you're really going to want to click on the website. This one's going to take me to Fact Monster and do a little reading, maybe 2 paragraphs, and see, is this a website I can read and understand, and is it giving me what I need? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to my tab up here that I have open. It's the second tab over to go back to my search. Maybe I want to refine it a little bit more. Maybe I want to say, you know what? I just want to look for videos because I want to watch and see what I can find about Sync and Float. I click on the format and I click Get Results. And now I have 20. So all these websites are going to give me some sort of video. Again, when you're searching, you want to make sure that you are reading the summary and clicking on the link in addition to refining your search and doing a little reading and making sure, is this really what I'm looking for? So I would probably want to read the first 2 paragraphs. Does it talk about objects that sink and float? All about sink and float probably, but you want to read it and make sure. I'm going to exit out of this tab and my last tab so I can come back to my search. Now, one more thing we can do is we can add it to a list so that next time I'm researching Sync and Float, if I didn't get to finish, I can go back to that web page. So right here where this little green check is all about Sync and Float, I want to keep that one. So I'm going to add this to a list. I'm going to click on that. Now you'll see that first website says in this list. So I'm going to click on in this list. And this will give me the option to name it. I have an Abe Lincoln list already. You'll see that up here. I'm going to edit this. And I'm going to name it. You know what? I'm going to cancel that because I'm editing the wrong thing. Don't do that. I want to add a list. So I'm going to add a list here. And I want to name it Sync and Float. Save. Okay, now I can edit it. If I need to, I could add a description. I don't need to, so I'm going to save it. And I'm going to go back. I want to go back to my original search in Webpath Express. So I'm going to go back to Webpath Express. I'm going to click on Sync and Float. It's going to come up for me. Search. And now I'm going to go back and I want to add to this to the list. In this list. And now it's in my Sync and Float list. So it's helpful if you go there and add a list first so that you don't have to do some editing. And I will help you more with that too as we go through Webpath Express. So now you know how to do a basic search in Webpath Express and save it to a list, and we'll continue to go over that. So for now, you're going to do a search for Sync and Float and see if you can find a website that might work for you.